Alright, so thank you very much for watching these videos from Pogi Code. My name is Kamia Simon Peter, and I'm still on the tutorial series for the MTN API. Alright, so this is video number 7. Probably we've gone so far. Alright, so the first thing I want to do is I want to thank all my new subscribers and viewers. It's really very great, and please continue sharing and liking the videos, continue commenting. If I go to my analytics, only part 1, let me see, I have in the last 28 days, oh, where is the subscriptions? I have now 1.4k watch time. Right, I have 11 subscribers in the last 28 days. I actually had only about 42 subscribers, but right now I have 68 subscribers. My watch time was only 42 and I have 86 in only 1 month. This is great news. This shows that these videos are working for you, and please, thank you so much. Continue watching. Now, concerning the watch time, it's the duration that the people take to watch your video, your single video. If you take the video and watch it for 1 minute, okay, 1 hour, it means you're giving me more watch time. And then the subscribers, of course. So I need to raise 4,000 watch hours, okay? 4,000 watch hours. That's what I need. So please, take some time and watch these videos, okay? At least if you can watch for 2 minutes, so the number of times you visit and watch these videos. So some of you just watch one, you get the topic and download the playlist. Please take some time and watch online so that I get some more watch hours. Of course, the total is supposed to be 4,000 for me to start earning some money from my videos. Don't forget to like, do not forget to subscribe. Okay, so I'll go straight to our point today. Today, we're going to make a request to pay now. For some reason, I've taken long to do this video, like 2 weeks, but for some reason, they say that some sandboxes do not react well in certain debugging issues. So yet I was doing raw PHP here. So telling me if I had a framework that I'll be receiving everything that I have, that frameworks can help configure. But when I discovered that, I said, hey, let me continue and do this. Maybe some other people may be receiving a different items. So what I'm going to do today, I'm going to do a JSON decode, JSON encoding. We did JSON decoding the other time, and then I'll leave it at that. But then I'm going to prove to you that, one, you're supposed to get a response. Now, for some reason, when I put my variables and replace certain keys, like the token here, from functions, I do not get my what? I do not get a response from the server. I rather get a blank page. So that's the reason why I'm not going to be able to produce results from this. But they told me it's because I'm doing it from raw PHP. I should do it from either a framework, I was just doing PHP flat. So, all right. So with that said, so I think and then in the request to pay, they ask for, they do ask for a callback URL. But in the sandbox, when you test with the callback URL, you get errors unless you remove the callback URL. That could be the reason why. Help me as you watch, test and find out. You put it in the comment section below. All right, do not forget to come on the channel. Where is the channel? And then you hit the notification, you subscribe. But I want to thank you so much. You can see that in the last 28 days, part 1 has over 708 watch time, okay? And then part 3 for the sandbox, part 2, it depends on what you want, but I've provided everything. So Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Let me go ahead and do the action. All right, so I have Postman with me, and then I'm going to go to our YouTube live, and I want to choose request to pay. Remember, this is all in Postman, and I want to generate the code from here. Of course, PHP curling, and then I copy. All right, so I come here and paste. So I'm going to paste into this so that you see that I get the response. All right, so Control S, I've saved. Then I'm going to go to my Safari, and then I load that, which is called YouTube request to pay, and then I expect a response. If I don't get a response, then I'm going to put in new items in my. All right, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to generate a token as and a UUID, then I paste them in because that was already something old. So I'm going to go and generate a token and a UUID. So something called YouTube. Is it okay? Live key. Is it token PHP? I need. Okay, YouTube MTN token. All right, so let me get this token and paste it in. Copy. Okay, I would have generated that token from here, but I already did that. So let me get this token and paste it in. This is the token. Command A, then I just type the word bearer. You know, we must have the bearer because we bear the key here, and then Command V. So I've pasted that. Then I'm also going to get the UUID. The UUID that I'm going to put onto that. So let me generate one UUID. Here it is. Because the other request was already old, I don't think it could be working. So this is a UUID. And then Command V, so to paste. All right, so all I have to do is send, and then I get the status that it has been accepted. I'm going to copy this code as fresh as it is, and then come to Sublime and paste that code. Command, all right, paste, and then I've saved. I'm going to reload. Wait. Okay, here it is, reload, and I expect a response this time around. Okay, they are telling me the source is already exists, which is true. Now, of course, we must decode this response, and I remember we went through that in part 6. So I'm just going to copy my items. Where are the items? These responses. Okay. So, so it's going to be the token. So what do I want to get? I want to just encode the response. So let me just copy this and then paste it in here, okay, in the test. Okay, then just encode the response, and then what I want to get is the code. What is the code? Does it already exist? Is it the reference? One of those. So let me get the code. All right. Or I should get the status. In the first case, I'm supposed to get the status, which status should be 20. Something it gives me here, which status is supposed to be 202 accepted. Then after you verifying that status, then you go with your if conditions in your PHP items. All right, so I'm going to have JSON decoded, and then let me save. Of course, what I can do, I can change these, okay? For example, this is for the request to pay. I can just decode the request to pay, blah, 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 blah. Okay, let me save so that we don't waste time on that. You can go back to my part 6. All right, so I expect only one word that the resource exists. For some case, I've not got it. Okay, Command S. Why do I need? Okay, so let me, before I do that, let me var dump the token so that I get to know what I'm really accessing. Var dump the token, so I get to know what I'm calling. Okay, refresh. Let me see what I get from the response. Okay, I'm supposed to get this, already exists. So it's not supposed to be a code. Let me var dump. Let me var, my mistake. let me var dump everything. Let me var dump the response to see what I'm going to get and what I'm supposed to select. var dump the response and then command S to save and then refresh. Alright, so I'm supposed to get the message, the code. When I typed in the code, I didn't get it. So let me type the message and see. Alright, so message, command S. Alright. Have I saved? Command S. Command S. Right, so let me come to file and save. Save all. Oh no. There's no problem. I was var dumping response instead of the token. Sorry about that. Right, so alright, so it is giving me this that I have a duplicated reference and then creation of the resource has failed. Okay, so we're going to var, instead of var dumping, we're going to echo. I wasn't getting the response the other time because I was not echoing, so I'm going to echo. What should I echo? Z token, $Z token. Okay, you can name the variable anything. I just did that so that I just copied it straight so that we don't waste time. So I need to only see the duplicate, yes, this and this. So I'm going to come back and change this. Instead of message, I change it to what? To code. I change it to code, sorry. And then I'll get that code that it sends. That code is supposed to be 20. So if already exists this. So I'm getting this response, but unfortunately, when I come and combine them, I don't get that same response. For example, what I did, I wrote a function to generate the UUID, and then wrote the function to generate the token. This is a function to generate the token, which is up here, okay? And then I replaced the variables here, okay? I concatenated the variables here. So I put those functions into these classes into variables, and then I called those variables here. So I got the X reference, and then so that whenever someone sends a request, I automatically get those. So you need to know how to generate PHP functions. So I replaced where I have the authorization barrier with our token variable and then with the X reference. But still, I'm not getting that response that I'm supposed to get here. Alright, so what am I going to do? I want to talk about decoding, because here you have these fields. Which fields are? The amount, okay? The currency, you see that, and which items are strings. Alright, so I'm picking something. Let me do this. Okay. Alright, let me do this and see. Command V and then the closing quotation. Maybe it's the curl language that wasn't getting. Maybe. Let me see. Do I have? Okay, I have the opening one here. I'm just trying this just right here. So please do not. Okay, I think this will work. Let me do the same for the xref down here. I'm just trying this because I've seen it in PHP curling for the concatenation. Okay. I do the same. This. Let me hope I'll get results. I'm just testing it, then I'll go to JSON decode. Maybe it was something that was making me get stuck because I wasn't getting results. Alright, so let me come to MAMP. Then I go to my website. I want to do this. MTN request to pay. Let me hope I'm wowed, because I wasn't getting any response. No response at all. Okay, I've been stuck on that, and then someone told me that as long as I have issues with someone told me that sometimes there are issues is that okay, I don't need, do I need that? Well, let me do this. Whichever way I'm supposed to concatenate, I'm really not getting it. Whichever I'm supposed to concatenate, I'm really not getting it. I haven't got values. But I will continue. Maybe someone will figure it out because it's not part of the logic. Anyway, so I need to find a way of replacing these numbers. How? By JSON encoding. The other one was JSON decoding. This time around we JSON encoding. Alright, so as usual, I'll copy from my old script so that we don't waste time. I'll see what kind of old script I can look through. This is the real request to pay. Let me see if I have that JSON. Alright, so what I do JSON encode, and this is the script. So I JSON encode. So my variable JSON encode is equal to JSON encode an array. Which array? The array of those variables. Which variables? The amount, the currency, the external ID, which is the UUID. Okay. I can generate another UUID, then the payer, and then, you know. So whatever MTN was giving me, I'm JSON encoding it, right? And then I get that variable that has been JSON encoded, and then I replace it here in this post field. Okay? In my request to pay, I replace it here. All right. And then all I have to do is do what? Is generate something. All I have to do is generate something. Alright, so for some reason, I've said, for some reason, I wasn't getting the response, but someone told me that if I put it in a framework, I'll get all the responses I need. So that's why I've decided to do this video, but the focus is on the JSON encoding. So this is JSON decoding, but this is JSON encoding. So I made a variable and then JSON encoded. Remember, JSON is just JavaScript object notation. It's just a way of writing. And then I'll put the variables, and those variables then pass them to my request to pay right here. So I'm replacing all this with one variable that has a JSON encode. Okay. And with that, I'm going to try and manipulate my items in my framework. It could be Laravel, it could be Mango Tree, it could be whatever framework that you're using. But now, what are we JSON encoding? Sorry, what are we JSON encoding? You could be JSON encoding variables. For example, if I have a variable here called price, so price, okay, which is equal, price will be equal to what? to your input, okay, price will be equal to, in whatever it's called dollar request input request, okay, which request is pointing to your input, and then what value do you have in your input? A certain variable from your form, which may be money, okay, your input in the form, which may be money, and then you terminate. So what do? You come here and all you have to do is call that variable, which variable is called price. So the price will be a string, okay, and which string is indicating your input, right? So the same will be, now these currencies, for it won't change, but the same will be the variable for the UUID that you've already generated there, and then the number, that is the party ID, the telephone number of your customer, which will be here, okay? So meaning you can create another variable, which variable is going to be customer's phone, command V, dollar, customer's phone, customer phone, okay, which could be from phone in your form, phone number in your form, and then all you have to do is come here and then replace this with that variable, which variable is going to be dollar customer what? Customer phone. All right, and then this JSON decoded variable, this is supposed to be JSON encode. This JSON encoded variable, JSON enc variable, is called in your request to pay here with all your requests, and then you wait for the response, and that is what I try to generate. So you put that if the status code, so you put an if condition. If the status code is 202, then everything is fine. And with the status code. If not, so these are your conditions that you use to test. If the status code is accepted, then send this response to the customer, which response they'll see on the screen of your website, that please check your phone and enter your PIN. If rejected, you just respond again that if it is not 202, please do this and this. You get it, eh? Please, maybe you've rejected the service. Very simple. And that's how we'll be considering your variables. Now, of course, there is another one called get request to pay. This is the one that you use to get who, okay? This is the one that you use to get what response the customer has submitted. Has the customer submitted their PIN, is the transaction successful or still pending? And then from there you evaluate and take them maybe to another page after getting the status that it is pending or it is not. All right, hope I have thrown some light. For some reason, I've not been able to get the responses from my request to pay, but someone told me that it's because I'm not using a framework. Something I cannot believe, but I remember very well that in our request to pay, in the sandbox, whenever I put the URL, callback URL, I wouldn't get a response. Okay? That's why I think this time around it's also not responding, because to which URL is it responding to the status? To me, that's what it has. So maybe it will be responding to the local server, which is your local host. All right, so get back to me in case you figured this out. I'll do another part of this video, which will be part B. All right, I will need to see everything in your comment section. Thank you for watching these videos. Please subscribe, spread the news there, okay? And then let's keep in touch. I like the comments that do encourage me to make these videos. Thank you so much. I'll be waiting for your response.